to do and just keeping the bottom lane, up and alive. But I think for me, Choo-Choo's, he's had 3 very different games, and the power has awakened within him, and I feel like he's starting to get a bit of groove here in this series. Choo-Choo's is probably the key player for me. We'll see what happens here as Chiefs. I'm going to stick to their bans from the last few drafts.
Yeah, for the first 2 drafts anyway. There's a certain contrast with the last game as Echo is going to hit the bench. Definitely identifying exactly what Fish was saying. So Regret not going to get the Echo this time around. That's what he said. Yeah, Pastry just gave me a funny look there, but I was just poking a little bit of fun. As Sivir is going to be the final ban. Swiper hovering the Nautilus, of course, has gone through. Struggled on it a little bit last time, but Trundle is, of course, there. Could be an option here against the big underwater dude.
Still kind of a flex pick as well if they were to lock in the Nautilus. Remember, Nautilus, a common ban that Legacy have been giving the Chiefs. So makes a lot of sense to at the very least hover the champion. But if they were to lock this in, we don't know if it's E-Gyms, we don't know if it's Swipers. Once again, they could pick a Trundle with it. Yeah, it could be. They could pick a Maokai with it as well, and we still wouldn't know. That's the beauty of Chiefs right now.
Well, still debating the first pick, it seems. Taking their time here. And looks like they might have changed their minds. Probably not that.
I like the Ziggs here as a first pick. No, Trundle going to be locked in. Oh, Tally, just do it. Don't be scared. Go to it, son. No,
save it for game 5 if we get that far.
Also probably save it for pick 5, let's be honest.
Yes. Legacy, of course, the big question mark that we do need to raise. They banned the Echo, they banned Grey. Goals are as a team composition. If they're working towards a Varus Jhin type of comp, I would wager Gragas.
I think if you picking Kindred, you can't give them Gragas. So I think I like that they take it here. And there you go. I'll stay on point with the draft.
Just
Gragas
an analyst,
Maokai.
not a prophet, Atlas. Don't worry.
Well, you also predicted it, Boss.
Yes, fair enough. You're right. They have the flex now, something that we have touched on a couple times already, and the Gragas is there. Legacy, still yet to pick a lot of their champions. I think need to almost adapt themselves on the assumption that it's going to be a Varus and Jhin.
Yeah. Well, Cardred currently having a look at a Twitch. But we'll see exactly what he does decide to take in here.
It's funny, actually, because this is kind of a double shout-out.
Yeah,
I believe Radier
was
on the Twitch when Tally famously killed him as Riven, and Carter's also a big old-school Twitch player. So just a champion that he's familiar with, that he likes. But this is different from Legacy.
But it feels like the right way for Legacy to go. I mean, that is a carry split push type option there for Tally in the top side of the map.
I think it also cements Trundle being top lane. And it's not bad as a Maokai, but naturally you would want to be the Trundle to fight him and match him in terms of fighting. Twisted Advance, I think it's a pretty obvious thing that you can riposte. He's kind of like, I'm coming, I'm coming, riposte me. That's kind of how that works. So it makes a lot of sense here. I think Legacy going for the Fiora in particular. It's a good champion that we slept on, or that Tally even slept on.
Yeah.
He hasn't opted into it.
And the Elise as well locked in there for Carbon, looking fantastic on the champion in game number 1. The Chiefs taking some time to lock in Varus Jhin.
I mean, that would be the obvious choice, right? But we'll see if Chiefs have other plans. At least for Carbon again, though. Nice, solid, strong jungler. There's one half. There's a different half.
That's what we're talking about. Swiffer going to take an old school comfort pick into the mid lane with the Twisted Fate.
Kicking it OG right now, Swiffer. I am a big fan of the Twisted Fate, perhaps not into the team that he's currently against. But I am still a big fan nonetheless. I think the dangerous aspect of this is ganking bottom lane and taking out Cardred. Naturally. Lane swaps as well. If Chiefs were to go towards that, Frosker and the actual Prophet has predicted a lane swap already. She can feel it in her bones. I would imagine it long lane favors Chiefs.
And look at the grins on the faces. Regret just saying, and Morgana.
Yeah. Hey, you've got predictable stuns.
Black Shield. Well, we'll see exactly how this one works out. Chiefs considering a Maokai there towards the top side, but we'll see whether that swap comes through.
This is what I love about what Legacy have done, because I feel like, again, last time they picked the Yi, hoping for the Maokai top lane matchup, just to give Yi a bunch of farm, and then Chiefs tricked him and swapped. Now, I think the issue is, there's just no real good swap here into Fiora, because it's like Legacy, like, oh, that's a cute flex pick, Fiora, now what? Oh, either of these picks, Charlie's going to be comfortable with. Whereas the Yi was a little bit more like counter-specific.
Yeah, which comes down to what bottom lane do they want above all else, right? So Maokai support into the Morgana, very predictable, pretty easy to stop from doing anything. Trundle makes a lot more sense in that respect, but it's not like you're picking a winning top lane by putting Trundle in the support role either.
Well, we'll see exactly how it is going to work because Cardred and Regret made it work fantastically well in game number 1. That Morgana was brilliant. The Dark Bindings were fantastic towards the late stage of the game. And one thing I like is that they're sticking to exactly what worked for them in game number 3, and they're continuing. They're saying, Chiefs, you have to beat us at this game, and you haven't yet.
And they picked a bottom lane that while 60 or 70 CS behind was still very much relevant. But once again, Legacy, their team composition, it comes down to one thing. I will say it's a lot more defined this time around. And it's that Tally is on Fiora. Team fighting's harder.
It's, just even more obvious, right? I
Yeah.
think the plan's always going to be the same. It's just execution that we'll have to look at here. But of course, don't forget your hashtags. Hashtag GSF win if you're cheering on those boys on your screen. See if they can take it 3-1. Or hashtag LGC win if the guys in green, who you really want to look after here, think they can force it to a Game 5, have yet another epic series between these two teams. We're not going to get the sweep, but 3-1 and 2-2 are obviously very different results.
Yeah, well, we could get the reverse. You know, we won't get the sweep, but we could get the reverse sweep, and that's what all these Legacy fans are looking for. Streaming out of their base now as well, all grouped up as 5, and we'll see what they do decide to do as they... Oh, this is cheeky.
Yeah, so Chiefs, again, we mentioned the lane swap. Makes a lot of sense that they're looking for it, but it also seems like Swiper's the bait and the sacrificial lamb of this. Legacy have decided that they want this level 1 fight. They've grouped up as 5 to match it. But we're actually on opposite sides, not knowing where the others are.
Yeah, the 2 battleships just passing each other across the river.
Instead of ships in the night, it's actually battleships.
Yeah, because there's more of them, you know? That's
and
what I was
one's
going
picked
for.
like A1, they're on
Yeah.
the other side.
Well, they're getting their deep vision down, so
Miss.
land swap ahoy. It's kind of weird to see the teams on the same side of the map,
Yeah.
which might means we could see people caught in the reinvades or the double backs, but looks
Yeah.
like vision down, everyone bails.
There's 2 ways that can go, right?
Yep.
Either you walk out as a team or you recall as a team, and there's a chance that you actually clash in a random spot no one expected on the way back out. So smartly, both naturally recalling. Deep wards from both teams as well, looking for lane swaps or matching them. As we'll see how Legacy respond when they see... No, they don't see him.
No, they didn't get the other ward down, and that's the thing. You got to have that.
No, they saw him.
Oh, they did? Okay.
I think so. Who knows, really?
I mean, honestly, when you have those wards, you usually put a second one outside the base gate for that
Yep.
exact reason.
You absolutely do. But they placed 2 wards in the river, very shallow, instead of placing 1.
I think looking for a mid lane transition, actually. But no dice. Tally's already started jungling, but you can see Chiefs 2 on the top side. We do have a lane swap.
Certainly do. Blue buff is going to get started as Regret looking to stop some of the shenanigans here in the jungle as Spooks and Swipe are trying to take down some popcorn chicken.
Doing some
Regret.
deeps.
Oh, you really want to take that one down as
He's trying to change the aggro by hitting the raptor, for reference, which is why he stops it from being taken down. They at least keep the big chicken there, all things considered, as the bigger chicken is actually farming mid lane.
Oh, nicely done. And Swiffer clearing this one out just fine. We'll see how he does go in the lane as Choose. We've seen his Azir before, very recently. And man, he's fantastic at this level 2 stage. I was getting to something relevant. You guys can calm down.
Hey,
all right?
hey. All right.
Hey. Oh, gets me.
Twitches are started the 3 men in the bottom for Legacy, although waiting on a wave. Tally eats some tower shots. There's the cannon. And there should be more than enough room for the push, despite the extra damage Tally took. Chiefs are answering on the top side. In fact, they're going to bring Carbon here, so here's our first adaptation. Going to push through to the tier 2.
Absolutely. Pushing through. So this is a 4-man roster now, strong, which means they'll be pushing faster than that of the Chiefs, who are 3, even though they got there sooner. And what this actually means is that they'll push it to the next turret to either make it reset quicker, or they'll keep going and threaten the second turret and force a rotation from Chiefs.
Yeah, so this turret is going to fall down. A lot of these minions are going to die. New wave does turn up, but the Chiefs had to wait
And
for
Jhin
another
sucks
minion
at
wave.
this, let's be honest.
Yeah. And Swiper just going to punch this one, trying to get it through. We'll see what
He won't get it.
Yeah,
He won't
no,
get
it's
it.
not looking like it.
Ready has to stay. Wow.
That is a big deal. One auto
Is that
attack.
enough?
That's probably not.
Maybe good homework done there, but they're going to try for it. Legacy, though, they're not done. And Lady has to stay again, using all of his bullets and eating a turret shot. Chiefs do not calculate that one properly. And it's so funny to see again. The Legacy 4v0 strikes once more 2 years later.
And I feel like we can almost predict what's going to happen, right? Tally's going to go top lane, or they'll keep pushing, and they'll try and actually give the reset and freeze to Tally. That's the thing. They choose when they want this. Is where will they go, and when will they give the freeze? They are going to give a freeze to Fiora. They want him to get more minions. They want Tally to be stronger than Swiper. It's just natural.
Well, that's how they won the last game as Choose continuing to farm things up. Swiffer just fine here in the lane, and As far as Twisted Fate versus Azir, I mean, this has been sort of coined as something that works into the golden chicken.
So it's a counter matchup in the sense that it's good into Azir, but you don't beat Azir 1v1 as Twisted Fate. You don't beat very many lanes 1v1 as Twisted Fate. The idea is that you're able to actually keep up with his pushing and then run to other lanes and affect the map there. Azir's just nowhere near as fast, and he has to take cleanse because Azir's a crappy TP champion. So Twisted Fate beats Azir around the map, even though he doesn't beat him 1v1.
Yeah. Very, very, I guess, sensible there. Twisted Fate should never have kill threat. If he does, something's gone wrong.
Yeah, I just love giving that that color point over to Patient Time. He's just been playing a heck of a lot of Twisted Fate right now. Well, Carbon actually looking for something here as the Chiefs are pushing through. Deadly Flourish, not going to get any stuns. Black Shield there anyway. The Dancing Grenade going to come down. Chiefs pushing aggressively here towards the bottom side. See whether they can actually grab this turret. It's very high health.
And look at the lane assignments. Once again, Tally's top lane. So they're giving him the wave. There's no way for Maokai to be there. That's overextended. And by sending 3 people down here, Legacy, they're at least contesting it. They run the risk of being dove, and obviously they have to leave the turret, but it slows it down. It gives a lot more time to the Fiora.
And so much priority, again, put on Tally's lane here. You can see he's already 13 CS ahead. He's got plenty of free time to try and farm that wave up. Looks like Swiper is going to go back and try and meet the stack that Tally's been shoving in towards that area.
Yeah.
But Legacy knowingly sacrificed a turret there.
Yeah.
Just to make sure Tally gets the farm he needs.
And so that's my real concern with this, right? Like, let's be blunt. They just gave away what was a turret trade. Instead of defending the turret and stopping it from going down, which was their initial strategy, it didn't work. They give over a turret, which is an advantage in global gold to the Chiefs, and potentially the Dragon with it. Inexcusable.
This is dangerous, though, because Swiper's forced to use his TP. If Legacy had a bit more info, they could start a fight with their teleport advantage. But unfortunately, no dice this time around. Chiefs just going to take the Dragon instead.
Yeah, so Dragon is going to fall down. Chu's pushing up very heavily here in the mid lane. See whether he can get some reasonable damage down onto this turret. 12 CS is the lead as well for the Azir, who's laning very, very nicely.
Yeah, doing quite well, Choose. I will say, as expected. Legacy, starting off all right. I'll give them an all right out of 10.
And they've actually swapped Tally back down as well. So they're kind of going to delay Cardred and Regrets laning quite a bit, actually, as Kallista's already 10 CS down. And again, give Tally another freeze. That is actually one of the interesting advantages that Legacy get by losing that turret, is they give Tally another lane to freeze.
Yeah, well,
I'm not saying it's a good trade, but you can clearly see where the power's away to.
Absolutely, I understand that. And advantages only stretch so far, though. That's the real concern, is sooner or later, because Chiefs have gone from bottom lane turret in advantage to Dragon in advantage, now to the Rift Herald, which
resets.
Decides it doesn't want to die, but it will eventually. Chiefs need to actually make this work to snowball the gold lead across the board further, because Raider's not laning. And, I mean, it gives time for Kadra to catch up.
That's exactly right at the moment. 9 CS ahead, and it is Raider that's going to pick up the Rift Herald buff. Spooks going to dash over that wall. They wander over a ward. They will spot this pink, but looks like 4-man strong heading in for a push towards this top inner turret.
And they can't stop this, honestly, with the Rift Herald and 4 people there opposed to the 3. This is a hard defense. Kalista doesn't have wave clear. Morgana's wave clear is lacking. Elise doesn't really have it either. Like, it's not an easy thing to defend.
Well, the Cocoon is going to go wide as Raider actually tanks.
Oh my god,
some turret shots. Spook's in trouble as well. This could be a problem for the Chiefs.
They might actually halt the push.
How did he take aggro?
I think they all are. It's the death by a touch from Raider is what's stopping them. Because the damage over 4 seconds, if it hits a single person, you can't actually hit a turret. And with 4 bullets, you kind of want to use those on turrets. Or so I hear.
And Legacy hold as a result. They actually will keep their tower. It's a little unhealthy, but it's alive still on the top side. Legacy keeping the gold league within about a K, which is probably reasonable given what they're setting up for themselves here. Choose in the meantime, though, just continuing to shove in. Swift now with the blue buff, going to be a lot easier for him to try and leave this lane and impact somewhere else. I don't really know where he goes, as Choose is going to go back get his blue as well. Swift are tied up for a little while here in mid.
And it's not about where he goes yet, though. That's the thing. So we are yet to have solid lane assignments.
Sorry, that was beautiful.
No, that was good last inning. I'll give you that moment. That was special.
But yeah, no, exactly right. What does he do?
Yeah, so once we actually have lane assignments and it slows down, so we might get a 2v2 top lane, which is where Raider is sitting right now. There's only 2 people there, which means the Twisted Fate gank is much more potent, especially as well with the Maokai against the Fiora bottom lane. The difference is too great, I would wager, at the moment, for Swiper to lane. And so if he just appears somewhere else on the map, maybe they gank with Twisted Fate and get more farm for Swiper with Spooks being there. Like, he's got options once it slows down.
It's also a great map for Twisted Fate to play on, and why he's actually a good lane slot champion is when you open up the sides of the map and have really long lanes to funnel into with your ultimate, you actually create so much pressure if you have mid still as a central control point. So, like, Swiffer, he's not doing too much right now. He's keeping up in farm, although Choose does have a lead. But as this goes on, it gets more and more dangerous for Legacy to move out of their long lanes. That's where TF can really start getting a lead.
Wow, quick shout out to Chiefs as well. Look at the vision on the top side.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these two are so overextended, but they're not.
Well, Radia is going to be kept well and truly safe as the lone Jin able to ping out Carbon there as he makes his way towards the top side of the map. So Ejim just staying out of vision.
It's like he's there, now he's there,
Yeah.
and now he's there. We know everywhere you are, Carbon.
Now
and
he's
Twisted
there.
Fate has also got the ultimate to spot him out if he overstays.
Well, Ejim actually looking to try and stop him out here. Does have the pillar. Not going to get the bounce back. Very close, though.
Whoa.
Choose is out.
He wanted to go home.
Peace.
It's the best recall, by the way. He stands on top of the soldier.
Yeah.
Yep.
Carbon's the mid laner now, it seems. He's dragging back in a minute 45. Carbon going to hold this lane as Nash's is now finished for Choose. And look at this! Tyler's like, hey, free lane.
Back.
I got farm. This is great. And he's almost got a Titanic Hydra built up.
But the difference has been closed, to be fair, with Swiper and Tally. So he's had a lot of time to push back. It's not really a big lead that Tally gained from this, and realistically, the only benefit is a turret that Chiefs have an advantage. So I'm looking at this, and I'm questioning Legacy's, I guess, goal behind the freezers. Didn't get what they were looking for.
And a whole lot of these advantages are actually getting closed as well, as Swiffer catching up in farm to Choose. Now that those items have been completed in the Abyssal Scepter and the Lucidity Boots, the wild card's able to get out a little bit faster and do a little bit more damage. As now Tally going to try and hold this wave and say, come on, Chiefs, do something around the map.
And that's really what it is. That's absolutely the question he's asking, because Tally, he's just going to keep doing this. Choose, they're going in.
Oh, wow.
Yep, there it is. Swiffer has to run away now, but it's not going to be good enough. First blood goes down to Choose as Regret just hanging out and says, yeah, we'll need 4 people, but we'll take you down.
Yeah, the jungle wards die from Chiefs, as is expected, but 4 people rotate to this middle lane. And their wave clearing Twisted Fate has gone missing. Doesn't mean the turret will fall down. It's got a lot of health to it, but very well played from Choo-Choos. The cleanse was seamless.
I think in the back of my mind, I was remembering game 1 and thought that he wasn't going to go off, but absolutely makes the play there, nails the execution, and does get the first blood there. And honestly, more than anything else, they didn't get another objective from it, but continuing to buy time for Tally, who's opening up another lead. Swiper is going to go top and clean out the massive wave that Legacy started pushing, but now they're going to rotate mid and continue that pressure.
And there's still a lot of positives here for the Chiefs. Second Dragon is one of them, and at 12 minutes in the game, that means that more Dragons soon to come, which is a dangerous prospect for Legacy, of course, but this time around they might trade. Who knows?
Shall
I
see.
think they just really want mid. Thing is,
Yeah.
Twisted Fate's back.
Yeah, Wildcard's now starting to deal with these minion waves quite effectively. The Swiffer just sets them up so well. Man, so good to watch. I got to imagine, Pastry, you'd be pretty excited.
Oh yeah, it's actually a lot harder than it looks to last hit effectively with Twisted Fate because your base AD is so pitiful. So lining up cards properly is
And stack deck.
very
so
necessary, yeah.
surprisingly easy once you master it.
Yes,
Hard to do
but
initially, yes.
Every situation is different, and I mess it up every time.
I could never
That's
do
what
it.
we're getting from this.
I only play AD Twisted Fate just because of that.
Sometimes you honestly want 15 AD. You're like, come on, man.
I'm saying
Let me
Rapid
last
Fire Cannon Twisted Fate could be a thing. Like,
Ooh, you never know. Oh my God, Harold.
Harold, please.
Harold the unfriendly Herald.
Harold the unkillable.
He's still not dead. He does die eventually. Ready gonna get the buff
We
again.
slowly zoomed in. It's like, is he going to die? He might not die. He's dead.
We got it. But as you can see, Chiefs ahead by about 500 gold as the dust settles. Swiffer, the only death so far this game. And if you guys are remembering back to your mountains, that is not working out so well to those who have their kills a little bit further down the slope for the Chiefs or further up the hill for Legacy. As we'll see exactly how this one is going to work out. Swiffer yet to use a Destiny. We'll see when that is going to first come into effect, because that's what you look out for a Twisted Fate, is the first ultimate. Gonna reap the rewards.
Yeah, it does feel like it's the first step of a potential momentum builder or the breaking of a Twisted Fate's ultimate usage into not doing it until 30 minutes.
This is adorable, though. Tally's actually snuck his way into top lane and is hoping that some sort of aggressive dive happens for this turret, and Legacy want to look for a team fight.
Yeah. So they've got their Herald. It's actually a very smart assumption as well.
Oh, wow.
And this is a massive item advantage, actually, for Tally, having the Titanic Hydra to the makings of items, components that they actually have on the side of Chief.
Oh, my goodness. He's so patient.
Some would say too patient. But he has nowhere else to be.
Yep. Might as well be there.
And I like it. Out of the Chiefs, patient play. They understand that, look, we can't see Tally on the map. We're not going to make an aggressive move when there could be, you know, Fiora with a 30 CS lead just waiting in a brush, which is exactly what she was doing. Now going to be moving back down towards that bottom lane as Swiper going to smash these minions arcanely towards him.
He's going to catch the wave, though, so everything's all good for Tally. Actually didn't lose anything, really. But Chiefs play smart and don't get themselves picked up. There he is. The Chiefs figures up. But Spooks may be caught in rotation. Carbon looking in for it. The flash is already used by Gragas.
Oh,
Choose!
what?
Does not connect on that. And Tia pops the ulti. Probably not going to go in, though.
Nice flourish.
Choose it to W, but no snare. Everything's okay.
Gragas went wall surfing. Unfortunately doesn't get it as Tally's showing some aggression bottom.
TP, though. Tally's out.
Oh, no.
Nice flash.
What a disaster.
Oh, hang on. That was Swiper.
Yeah, that was Swiper's flash.
Sad. Okay, so I say nice flash. Thought it was Tally getting out of the way of a potential gold card. Not happening.
No. And that was a
Oh,
teleport
dear.
from Swiffer. A flash from Swiper. But basically just the ultimate of Tally. And Raider's wave clearing for Reckless. He's not missing.
This time he's got it right. Does clear it out. The cannon lives, though. Not for long. Rip.
Oh, I love that when the grenade just goes super high. It's like the mega lob card is like, oh, can I catch it? Yes, you certainly can. That's a targeted ability.
Hurts, though.
Damn right it does.
Not the best thing to catch.
Yeah.
I wonder if, that'd be cool if you just did more damage if you moved further away. Like, because I feel like gravity should help it out.
Hits
you
you in
know?
a recall and you just explode.
It also may sort of fall out of the planet if you're recalling because it'll just go up so high. And I feel like the lob only has so far before, you know, it just drifts off.
Yeah, the Skybox, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Tally, though, level 11 as well. So the cooldown on Fiora's ultimate is a surprisingly low cooldown, which means every time that he sees Swiper, there is an opportunity he's just going to press his R key to poke him out.
Not swiping out. Able to utilize that Balmy Cinder to clear out these minion waves, as well as that Arcane Smash. Able to do a fair bit of work as Fate's Call. Regret looking for Swiffer. Dark Binding doesn't find anything, though, as the stack deck able to get a lot of damage down. Chiefs not going to be able to find anything, but neither are Legacy.
The idea is there. The execution, unfortunately, is not. They didn't know where the rest of Chiefs were when they were engaging that particular one. Kalista no ulti now.
Oh, good damage though from Choose, and you can see the damage starting to ramp up now. Tally even topside with his teleport ready. This is sort of the setup Legacy want. They caught you in bottom lane, trying to get that farm that Tally previously pushed around. Legacy really are just playing pendulum with these side lanes. And the longer this continues, the better it is for Tally. He's the big key for Legacy once again.
He absolutely is. And to me, the best case scenario for Legacy is Chiefs engaging. Because they want a Fiora to reactively teleport, not to actively teleport. There's no situation where they can dive a Maokai, Gragas, and a Trundle. Because that is disengaged pretty much everywhere, right? But if Chiefs are engaging, Gragas no longer has disengaged because he's using it as engaged, as does Swiper, and Trundle's the only disengage.
Well, now Legacy well and truly in the 1-4 situation as the wave pushing for Chiefs towards the bottom side of the map.
This is getting them nothing, though. Like, the longer they sit here is just time wasted. It's not like Legacy are in the lead. They do have momentum, though.
It's just one of those things where, because this is very common in lane swaps, Chiefs are the ones that have the turret edge still. So there's long lanes. Legacy are like, well, we could respond, but Tally already knows he can go back late, still catch this massive wave that Radier reverse back in towards that turret, and now go collect it. Like, we see the ARAMI thing a lot in lane swaps, and that's sort of why. Because when you elongate these lanes, you're like, I just actually have to spend more time waiting.
See, I hate calling it an ARAM. It's actually a dance battle.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. DDR
Like, they
instead of
send in
ARAM.
one person at a time, though. They show off their moves.
Ooh, Deadly Flourish.
Like,
Yeah, no,
see,
we
look,
should
that
be
was
talking
Raider's
about
time
dance
in the
parties.
circle right there. There you go.
You know,
They gave it to him.
shakes around, like,
Didn't win the battle.
crosses his arms.
Nice.
And now Legacy's turn to respond.
Well,
Chiefs are doing a 2-for-1, though. They're not responding. Bad dance battle
BM.
etiquette.
Yeah, right. Well, the Chiefs going to move back to their outer turret in the mid lane, surprisingly. As Tally, of course, answering the split of Raider as he moved down there. And that wave going to be crashing down. We'll see exactly who's going to pick that one up. Raider actually moving towards the top side as the Dragon has respawned.
Indeed.
And Swiper's going home. See whether the tree teleport could be a thing. Of course, multiple trees this time. See who's going to be collapsing Isengard this time. Picking up from your wonderful pun from earlier there, Pace
I think the worry right now is that Legacy have been mid for a long time, and this Dragon is up, and I don't think they've shopped. So these recalls are really late, and Chiefs know that. They've got good vision around the area. Tally's back top lane with the TP ready, but looks like Legacy are staying to defend because they don't want their mid tower to go down. That's probably their big point of control they can still look to, because Tally can't do this when that portion of the map's opened. Chiefs, though, they'll be patient here. There's no need to rush for this Dragon. They already have two. If Legacy don't want to fight them for it, they'll just wait. They'll take it eventually.
Sorry, I just checked the time. I was like, we're surely at like 25 minutes.
Nope.
Tally has 200 CS. It's 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So does Choose. Hey, Legacy are looking good.
45 CS lead here for Tally. Of course, a lot of it has been funneled into him as Spooks has to body slam out of the Dragon Pit. Will loop his way around. We'll see exactly whether he would be able to get it. Oh, that was close. Legacy say thanks for the disengage and thanks to the Dragon.
Cool guys don't look at dragons exploding. Carbon actually smiting it whilst being knocked away by the explosive cask. Legacy lock down that first dragon. They deny dragon number 3 from the Chiefs, most importantly. And whilst the pace of the game has slowed down and we're nestled into this dance battle in the mid lane, Legacy will be very much content knowing the Chiefs don't get the dragons.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But 800 gold lead for Raider at the moment. You can see Swiffer a little bit further ahead than Choose in the mid lane, but it's that top side of the map. 1,000 gold lead for Tally versus Swiper. That could be the problem. And not necessarily because Swiper's behind, but more because Tally's getting money. And that is a big problem for Chiefs fans right now.
Yeah, because the later the lanes go, the stronger Tally is in a 1v1. This is where the wildcard pick of Twisted Fate actually comes into play. You can take him down, you can teleport up there, you can ult back. Like, you're very maneuverable around the map.
Saying wildcard pick of the Twisted Fate is right in so many different ways. My goodness. And I mean, it's even the goal of both
I'll
of
give you
these
2
teams
ways.
right now.
2 ways. That's it.
You mean like going to IWCI?
Oh, yeah. Right.
See? That's a wild
No,
card.
you got me. Even I didn't know that.
Yeah, see?
Well,
you are smarter than even you think you are.
Oh, it would not be an OPL Grand Final without a classic Atlas Overreach pun, would it? Here we are.
That's so glad you got to be part of it there, Patient Time.
Legacy, though, have actually gone back and spent their money, so things looking a little better now. As I said, they did stay out on the Rift for a while, but Rylo's finished there for Choose. Black Cleaver's on there for Tally, and even a Zeal there for Cardred. They were actually almost lucky to steal the Dragon the way they did, and it was a steal out from Chiefs. But this is where these next few minutes are going to be really crucial to see how the game develops, because it's dead even right now. Legacy know what their win condition is. They're sort of running Chiefs around, but things will break very quickly here, especially with a TF in the game, who has a Lich Bane completed now as well, and an 86 large rod after the Abyssal. This is a delicate thing to try and balance here, and Legacy, they're the ones with a game that they cannot afford to give away.
It's bottom.
Yep, Tally could be in trouble
Wow,
here, but he
nice.
does throw out a nice riposte. There's the grand challenger. Swiffer in trouble. We'll have to use the flash, and Tally dashing forward. Arcane Smash gets him. But that was so close.
Tally's Q unfortunately hit a minion.
Radier, hello.
Radier's got 2 dragons. He's chunking out that turret.
He's burning it with so many different things right now.
That's getting low. If he doesn't get it, it's not really worth it.
Yeah.
Because it regenerates.
Whoa.
There's the flash.
Legret moving back in, going to walk over the trap, but needs to get in binding range, doesn't have it. Radier's going to deadly flourish away. Very apt as he swag walks his way out of there. And Tally, I almost called the 1v2, but he doesn't quite get it. Carbon, though, chunks here. Good ulti from Spooks, but Carbon's going to move back in. Cocoon lands in, but Egypt's here on the defense.
Yeah,
and
it does
Choo-Choo's
have.
zones him away.
Yeah,
Get
throws
out.
down a pillar. I mean, look, there's a trophy.
That's
But
like,
nothing.
look, there was a lot of aggressive stuff that just happened, but none of it really meant anything besides Tally going down, because that's the only thing that amounted to anything. And once again, the fact that his Q hit a minion was like a millimeter away from potentially killing the Twisted Fate, because he was going for a vital.
Who got
And look at how
challenged?
much health he lived with. That was Twisted Fate.
I can't remember if the ulti was still there, but yeah, he actually might have 1v2'd
Yeah.
if the ulti procced.
So the proc was gone from the bottom
Yeah.
side of the Twisted Fate, but he was challenged, and the damage that it would have dealt actually still would have killed Swiffer. He may have flashed earlier, but the assumption is safe.
Basically, Tally was very, very, very close.
To at least a trade.
Yeah.
In a 1v2.
Yeah. And it doesn't even feel like a weird thing when it's Tally, to be honest.
And it doesn't get easier from this point. That's the issue for Chiefs. Like, yes, they're ahead now. They actually got a gold lead finally with the kill and some of the objectives they were able to pick up. Rady doing nice work in the top lane, but not getting it does hurt the Chiefs because that's time invested and effectively wasted due to that tier 3 turrets regen. Legacy again, they just have to play the delicate balance for a little while, and Tally probably needs 1 to 1.5 more items to really unlock this game for the team. But the rest of Legacy are getting strong as well. So looking at the game in its current state, if Legacy keep this pattern, things are looking good for them. And if they ever do anything aggressive and can get a lead, it's going to look even better. Chiefs, the onus is on them to continue the lead they've now grown for themselves.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, this is Tally's first defensive item. So as far as split pushing is concerned, he can now much more effectively with his next buy that I'm going to assume is a Spectre's Cow, fight Swiper. And then fight the two of them when they
Tally feels like a more of a Mortius player to me.
I hope not, but yeah.
I hope
You never
so.
know.
Well, choose.
Spooks really wants the ward, but he's dodging the Sad Soldiers. The battle continues.
Has a drink.
He's like, go get your minions. Choose. Hey,
You got a Spirit Visage, Spooks? Just have a drink, go kill the ward. Let him bop you if he wants to.
fairy claps.
There he is.
We got it. Let's choose. Still defending this tower. Next dragon up in about 40 seconds. Chiefs playing aggressively to this top side, though. Baron's now a very real objective that the teams have to be worried about. Azejim, face checks.
Oh, yeah.
He has no idea who's there.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It's no one.
And the ground also doesn't stop anything, unfortunately.
Nope. Looks pretty.
Yeah.
does look pretty.
Legacy card is still 30 CS behind, but that has been relatively static for quite some time. Does have his 2-item power spike there as the Callista. He was sort of an unsung hero in the last game. We'll see whether he can do so here as we move towards the mid-game this time around. Radier, a couple of very powerful ones in his back pocket as well, as he's now looking like going towards the Infinity Edge. Swiffer picks up the blue buff for himself, so he'll be able to split push quite nicely as Cocoon goes wide. With aggressive positioning from Legacy.
And the thing is, like, Legacy, actually, they're accelerating the game.
Yeah, there's the body slam as well as Carbon straight up into the air. He's trying to get out still as they do pop.
Ijim's in trouble.
Oh, yes, Swiper right from the back line. Throws down the ultimate. There's
Face
one
call,
from Cardred as well as he's able to get people to safety. Swiffer narrowly misses.
Choose on the flank.
He does have ulti, I think. Yeah, he does. He actually might be able to make a play. Swiper slowed. The Rylo's going to do work here as Carbon now going to move back in. Cocoon lands. They kill the front line. The back line opens, but Carbon goes a little too far and they end up trading.
Tally.
Swiffer, though, eats a stun on the back end and Tally takes him out. Cardred gets a double up to Callista and Legacy go nuts.
Oh
Yes.
my god, Radiant.
Dark Binding on the Radiant. He might go down. Triple kill for Cardred. That is massive for Legacy, and they'll turn it into a turret.
And Legacy just whitewashed the Chiefs right there. The only people remaining are Spooks and Ijim with no health and mana. This could be the base broken at 27 minutes from one big fight.
Are you kidding me? Tally, like, no-scoped Swiffer with a repose to start the rest of that fight. Spooks are going to try something here. Regret's going to get low. Ijim,
He's in trouble.
he fancies it, but he's going to die.
Ijim's-
Tally needs
oh
a
my
vital.
God.
He's
Whoa.
dead. As
Unofficial
Cardred gets
Quadra.
another kill.
That's gross. Tally is
Woo!
well and truly arrived, ladies and gentlemen, on this Fiora. Legacy, they've got themselves a 2.5k gold lead in game number 4.
This is ridiculous. The Chiefs unable to make it happen as Carbon just going to clear out that top wave. And that is the Spirit Visage completed. Tally going for his defensive items, looking massive. It's a QSS for Cardred at the same time. He's not afraid of any of these gold cards flying through, but Swiffer does have the Zonyas. There are signs of life on the side of the Chiefs, but they are going to have to fight so hard to get this game back.
And even when the Chiefs were up about 2k, just before that happened, I was going to say that this game is so tense, not just because Fiora is getting stronger and becomes more of a problem as the game drags on, but Azir and Callista both scale very well, and they were very close to 3 items. After that fight, which they fought without them, they've now got 3 items on Azir, got the QSS plus 2 items on the Callista, and I know the gold lead is still pretty close here for Legacy, but I feel like just based on momentum and composition, Legacy are going to feel much more confident trying to close this game out. And even without Fiora, their team comp does disgusting things to people.
They even had momentum before the fight broke out. That's the scary thing. Like, you can tell that they confidently wanted to fight that because of the flank that Choo Choo's had.
Yeah, Pacer Time motioning towards Radiant in the top side of the map. Tally is going to grab himself the dragon, but this Jhin very far up. And the Destiny's here. Kadrid may actually be in trouble as Destiny's going to go down. Deadly Flourish not going to get any stuns.
QSS, but they want the turret.
Yeah, we'll see whether they can find it.
Tally not recalling though. In fact, maybe a catch. Spooks could be in trouble. Cocoon goes down and Shoes. He's doing so much work on this Azir. Every catch hurts so much with the Rylai's. Tally finally makes his way back and Legacy deflect.
So the thing is, Tally was bot lane with no teleport, flash, or anything to speak of. So that was an aggressive but the right move from Chiefs. Unfortunately for them, they don't get what they came for. They don't even get the turret in that top lane. It's going to continue to regenerate, and they now have to answer super minions breaking into their base. So the Baron is a threat for Legacy to take because Tally has walked his way down here.
Well, Spook's now stalking his own jungle. You can see Scrying Orbs have to be used to make sure that the Chiefs can see where Legacy are around this Baron pit. Radio walking over some vision. He's been aggressively postured this game. Zijim throws down a trophy, spots himself the Kalista walking past.
And Baron Vision is really scary now. Legacy, the ones in control. Spooks could be a pick here. Dark Binding lands. Misses over. Cocoon will land there. Only one skill shot stun might not be enough, and Chiefs are smartly checking the area. Swiper does not have his teleport right now, though. Chiefs have to tread very carefully here.
Yeah, they do. The engage is always a threat now from the side of Legacy. Chiefs are responding well with their control of the middle lane. It gives them the inside track in a way to the turret, but
yeah, another binding comes in as
Raider's
Carver's
in
getting
trouble.
a black shield.
Wow.
Raider has to flash out of the way. Big barrel, but there's regret.
They
got
With
him.
the Fate's Call, they pick up the Jhin, and Swiffer throwing through some wild cards. It's just not enough, and bit of a blunder.
a massive blunder. Legacy, they get their first pick onto Raider of all people, known as the God AD carry, the positional king. Caught out of position, Legacy have started up the Baron.
Swiper ended up bottom lane, so Chiefs I don't even think can do this without a steal. Legacy are a little low though. Legacy, I think, looking for a pick. They'll find Spooks, so that's a lot of slows. He gets himself over the wall, but 3 of them stay on Baron. This is dangerous from Legacy, but it is enough to secure this Baron. Spooks is chunked out.
Yeah, pushing away the Gragas was basically the Baron secured. Legacy, they get one pick. They get themselves the massive purple buff for their team right now. Onus is on them to try and push out an advantage further.
Yeah, and Swiper wasn't even able to get that inner turret on the bottom side of the map. Tally will eat all of that farm, make it towards almost 100 CS in the lead. 4,000 gold now in favor of Legacy, and they're looking to take more. The inhibitor possibly about to respawn, but I have a feeling it's not going to be long for the world, as Choose just does some fancy stuff.
It's very
to get over the
stylish.
wall.
And Legacy now with Baron, everything is in place now for Legacy to close this game out. Don't let the gold lead fool you. Yes, Legacy are ahead, and it's probably more than the 4K indicates. But this is one very good or very bad, depending on which hashtag you guys used on Twitter, from ending. Possibly forcing a final game here. Legacy with this Baron, they probably don't end the game unless Chiefs make a big mistake and die. But they'll set up to try and finish it. This should be, for all intents and purposes, the approach of the end of this game, one way or the other.
Now's an appropriate time to say get your popcorn, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, especially for those
Oh
at
my
the void
God.
split. Oh, but Tally throws out a
Tally,
riposte.
my God.
There's the Dark Binding, lands on
Spooks
the
in
Spooks.
trouble.
He's
He's
going
dead.
to get deleted. Massive kill there for Kadrid, who's still kiting around. Fate's Call's coming in. Swiper in trouble. The big tank. He's not going to fall down just yet, and Legacy going to stay aggressive.
my
Swiffer flashes
God.
forward, doesn't get the wild card, but the curtain calls in.
Looking for it. Last bullet there. Does land onto regret, but
Oh.
it's not enough to kill him. Legacy, they'll survive the onslaught, and they do get a pick.
He's
Oh!
Wow, Raider, that was classy. It does get them one kill, though, out of what was still a tower taken, and effectively that kill is just a 1-for-1 trade. They did well to not lose more than Spooks in that particular trade.
And I think well to save their turrets, because that mid inhib is back up now, and that bottom inhib was looking awfully threatened. Legacy, I think, have Baron left for a little while longer,
A little bit.
so the siege can continue. But the game should diffuse once again. Legacy are about 5k up.
Still think you should keep your eyes peeled on the Chiefs right now because they're close to their Infinity Edge on Jhin, their Void Staff on Twisted Fate, and massive
Oh
power.
my God.
Swipe is
Yeah,
caught.
yeah, they're close to a dead tree at the same time. Nice arcane smash. We'll get into relative safety as the riposte comes in. Tally able to stop a lot, but stops himself, and they can't kill the tree.
And that's still a half-health Swiper, but he has his teleport. It means they don't gain anything from it. If he were to go down then, that would have been disastrous for the Chiefs.
And you have to take great care. Once again, this game is very tense, despite the fact that Legacy have a lead. We mentioned before that Legacy's carries the Kalista and the Azir are sort of hitting breaking points. Radiant, like you said, is about to hit one of his own, and Twisted Fate doesn't do no damage. Definitely, in fact, does the opposite. Does a lot of damage right now with 4 items.
Yeah, Curtain Call is going to come in here as the flash is used from Carbon, but can't get quite out of the way far enough. That is going to be the last bolt missing, so ultimate down there for Radiant, but a big flash cooldown for Carbon.
Yeah, and they diffused the situation that was happening in the middle lane once again. The Twisted Fate wave clear. Being able to proc the Jin's W also and lock someone down off wildcards. Still kind of like the Varus comp, but just harder to execute on. Legacy once again though, they've still got control of this map and Chiefs are biting back.
And they know they have to tread carefully because Twisted Fate is very good at picking off a straggler, and one pick here could mean the game turning back around. IE's done though for Radiant, so he has damage coming out everywhere right now. Dragon back up. Legacy though, I'm not sure they're confident in trying to take it, and the Chiefs are still charging up mid lane.
They certainly are. Of course, Void Star finished as well for Swiffer. So massive work. Spooks body slams forward, has to flash out of the way of the re-engages. There's the Fate's Call. Interesting maneuver from Regret.
He actually tried to bait Cardred's flash. He just body slammed for no reason towards them and was hoping that Cardred would just poop himself. And just be like, oh god, get out of there. But nope. Stand strong. Resilience shows from Cardred here.
Yeah. Spooks has to use his own flash.
Yep.
Very cute. Third Dragon is going down here as Cardred soloing that one out for Legacy. Will be a bit of extra movement speed, could be good. Bloodthirsted on for Tally though towards the top side of the map. Is Carbon going to grab that with a smite?
And officially Flame Horizon, of course.
Oh yeah, it was a little while back.
Yeah, it was a little bit, but the Bloodthirster coming around means, let's say it's 100 now. Probably watch that increase soon, just because, you know, like Bloodthirster, defined as the split pushing build.
I mean, Tally had a great little team fight to get Legacy into this position, but this game is certainly still anyone's. We're starting to get late into game number 4. 36.5 minutes in with Dragon 3 going off to Legacy. This will certainly come down to at least another Baron. And at the rate the game's going, teams are playing very carefully and very well to capitalize on situations, but also not get punished too hard when the situation comes up. And that's Baron, minute 50. Legacy couldn't close the game like I thought they could with that Baron, and we're effectively reset despite the gold difference.
Regret's got his captain boots.
Oh, yes.
Captain Regret.
Thinks he's Janna.
I mean, he's putting his face in it a lot, so I don't think I blame him.
And I kind of found captain boots on the way looking at Kallista's build, which I actually am a big fan of here from Cardred, working towards his Giant Slayer in his last Whisper combo. Taking out Swiper, who is going to be sitting in that front line, is very important. He doesn't have a whole host of armor just yet, but
yeah, Destiny's actually been popped here as Legacy moving towards what looks like the Baron pit. Baron up in a minute. But Destiny unable to find anything here for the Chiefs.
I'm not sure what the plan was with that. I think it was just a vision gain so that they could place, so scouting, so they could place more vision themselves.
They lose their blue though. Choo Choo's gonna get.
Oh, nice.
I mean, Spooks. I guess it's actually fine on Spooks.
All blame on Cardred there. I don't care.
And
Stop hitting it.
Choo's not having it actually matters. Tally also continuing to apply that pressure, and it's a long walk for Chooch to go get his blue.
And he doesn't have teleport right now, but he's sitting in this top lane. So opportunities arise here and there for the Chiefs. Jin with all of these items, if he gets a crit off, which, you know, I think 70% of the time will be.
Unless it's the last hit. The last bullet, which it will be.
In which case it's 100.
Ooh, Tally.
Oh, Swiper.
He wants vision of the Chiefs before he even considers
Yeah,
this.
Slipper's here as well.
So once they know that Jin and Co nearby, he's looking, in particular for Swiffer.
Now they go.
Yeah, there it is. The teleport is actually coming in here as Tally immediately going to run away. Understands, yep, that's a summoner spell. I'll take it.
That's perfect.
See you later.
Yep.
That is the best case scenario for Tally, besides obviously getting double kills, which, you know, the best achievable scenario right there. Forcing a lot of things out of Chiefs, in particular the teleport on someone who doesn't have his ult.
Speaking of ult,
Dancing time.
Oh, one more would have done it,
Spooks
but no.
Good flush. Cardra gets out.
I don't know if the flash was necessary.
I don't think it was, but he has to make the safe play.
Yeah, and on the assumption that Raider had his W as well, the range of that was obnoxious. So the safety flash, still, it's a flash burnt out of the 5-0 and 2 Kalista from a Jin ultimate, and he's 1-2 and 1. This is late game.
Yeah. Well, we'll see exactly whether the Chiefs will be able to capitalize on it, as Destiny is back available from Swiffer. Swiper didn't need to use his teleport, so effectively he still has a form of a teleport remaining. The Swiper looking to stave off Tally's assault on the bottom side of the map. This inhibitor still bare.
He's gone mid.
Yeah, there's the Destiny. He's going to make his way through.
Regret flushed.
And he's going to get it. Yeah, Deadly Flourish is going to go down. That's a Zonya's used, actually. Is Kadra going to throw out the
They
Fate's
want
Call?
in.
Spooks
They do. Radiant
finding
caught.
Carbon. Yeah, Radiant is down to half health already. The Repel comes in, but the Spider Lady not going to find the Jhin, who's safely in the back line. Meanwhile, the top lane is still towards the bottom side, as there's the ultimate use out of Spooks and Carbon. Tank down to very low health. Chiefs as well. Everyone running away limping.
Why is no one dead?
Don't know. Tally's actually pushing this bottom lane. There's no one that can respond to him besides Swiper. And the rest of the team of Legacy should be on this. Oh, no, they've got Raider.
Might get him. Does get the autos. He's dead. And Tally breaks bottom side there as well. Legacy move back to try and take out Tally.
Oh,
and Tally's
no.
just hanging out.
The cardinal rule of Jhin. Tally has to be careful, though.
He certainly does. Swiffer going to come in with the gold card ready. Tally will need to riposte this one, but
And that's Baron.
he's just at safety, and the Baron just got evaporated. What the heck? They just wandered over to the pit, looked at Baron, he said, all right, I'll just kill myself.
If you insist, Baron Nashor does say. But the Chiefs, they lose their AD carry again. This is not like Raider.
No.
This is something that he has only done internationally, I will say. But
below the belt.
it's an inexcusable thing. And he is
Yeah.
getting caught out. He ulted without vision next to him. And Azir's just, I'll just place a Sand Soldier here and kill you. Thank you. 4 hits.
And again, the carries for both these teams, as far as damage output goes, is through the roof at this stage of the game. 41 minutes in effectively. Dragon coming back up in a minute. Tally is untouchable pretty much in this bottom lane with the Deadman's Plate now finished.
6 items.
I think the biggest thing to me is he's gone for Merc Trodes and a Spirit Visage. So even when he gets the Vitals proc to gets healing back, you know, it's increased. Everything that he has right now is to win the split push, to not die to a 2v1 gank, as well as, speaking of teleports though, we're in mid.
There's the flank there from Swiper. Does have the ultimate down as Cardred may get caught out of position. Destiny
TF.
comes in. Swiffer uses the Zonyas
He's
now,
caught.
but he's in the middle of the enemy team. He's dead. Tally picks up the kill. Swiper's going to die as well. Cardred's dominating, and the Chiefs are running for the hills.
And they look for nothing short of a miracle here, the Chiefs, to keep them in game number 4. That is 2 people dead for 60 seconds. And a Baron buff on Legacy.
The minimum is 2 inhibs here. I think what's actually going to happen is Legacy are going to push it and try and take us to a 5th game. They will take these inhibs down, but Spooks can't
Binding's
eat
on.
that binding. Cocoon in as well. Tally leaps forward to try and take out Spooks. Massive ult there
Whoa.
from Jhin. Does get one. Turrets are melting there as Azir gets the ult here to try and zone them away. But Legacy, this is risky.
Choo Choos, you are a beast right now as he throws through the soldiers. There it is. Oh my goodness. Raider able to take it down, but that's an ace. And we are going to game 5. Ladies and gentlemen.
Legacy, it hits game 3 and they show up. Well, that momentum from a momentum-based team carries through. And Legacy, they come back fighting. And we are going all the way.
2 games for
Had
Tally.
to quote it, didn't we?
Yep.
Oh, God. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in next split, something like that. But what a ridiculous performance out of this team. And it just seems like they found their formula. And despite the fact that the Chiefs, back on the blue side, they managed to get the same bans through. I mean, the Echo was off the table. Didn't matter. The Fiora comes up so big, and Legacy just plays such a controlled game.
That's the thing to me, right? So they found another replacement for the Echo this time around. Tally on the Fiora. There's nothing Swiper can do. He just has to try and damage control, and that's not what they need. They need diffusal, not damage control.
To be honest, I look at these games, Tally looking good. I see Master Yi. Apparently French Master Yi is better. That's what they got.
Give him the
It was
bag.
fantastic, but we are going to throw it over to the analyst desk to break down game number 4.
Thank you so much, Atlas. And once again, Legacy are rising to the occasion. Game 5 just around the corner. And you know what? The Chiefs, the macro play team, have just been crushed, like comprehensively beaten in a macro game of League of Legends.
The Chiefs fumbled that.
Riddle me this,
pretty
Frosker, and
hard.
riddle me this. You're like, you don't just throw the kitchen sink, play like mechanically intensive champions. They're like, no, we'll beat them in a lane swap.
Yep. No. Okay. So we're gonna break down the lane
Yeah,
swap now.
go for it.
Okay. So lane swap started out great for Chiefs. I predicted that the lane swap would come through, especially when Tally grabbed the Fiora, because obviously you want to put her in a double jungle situation. You want to put her behind. Maokai double jungles fairly well. The issue is that there was this massive window where Tally was actually bottom lane after he got the deep freeze when both towers were down, and Tally really greedily stayed an extra 2 waves, I think it was, by warding and then facing Maokai on the bottom side. And Swiffer has Destiny at this point. And we see him start to walk down towards to Destiny Gate Tally's Fiora, and he doesn't. He goes back mid lane. So there's actually like this 12-minute window where the Destiny is never used on an overextended Fiora, and I think that was a massive misplay and misstep from the Chiefs, and great on Legacy to cover Tally and to allow him to just eat up all of this farm to get out of the lane swap deficit that he was put in.
It's almost like Chiefs lane swap. They're like, yep, got the lane swap down. Let's get ahead doing this, and we make sure we capitalize on opening the map nicely so Swift can get all these ganks off. 3 minutes into it, they're like, yeah, we got everything we want. Let's go back to base and find out how we can pick people off. 12 minutes later, they realize, oh, we didn't do that. Well, what do we do now? And Legacy just go, okay, we can just walk all over your team.
Also, the difference between a split pushing build from Tally as well as a 5v5 build from Tally. I really like his priority on Fiora there, and understanding that it's not about the split push, although he was able to pull that off in the end. It's about like his perfect timings into the back of a team fight.
That's what I wanted to actually bring up, because Tally, you're a fantastic mechanical player, but I was starting to question, like, is there like the brain at, like, not, he's a smart guy, like that came out wrong, like is there like the 1% like you can beat people up, but can you outthink them? And he goes Titanic into like Cleaver into
BT,
Spirit Visage BT, and then Dead Man's Plate. He had like 4,500 health. I was like, this is a Fiora that not only is going to win a 1v1 split push,
but can
and is going to win the team fight, and he's going to beat Maokai at everything. There's an immobile carry, there's a Jhin, like, Tally, hats off to you, my man. Like, you are performing out of your mind, and if your team wins, like, you should seriously look at, like, patting yourself on the back. But the other person I want to talk about is Choo Choo's versus Swiffer. Swiffer won game number 1 and 2, in my opinion. Choo Choo's has hit back in game number 3 and 4. These mid laners, so close in how classy they are, and choose this game. What a monster on the Azir.
But I also think that when you bring in the mid laners, you also have to bring in their counterpart in their duos, the junglers, Carbon and Spooks. And yes, Choo Choo's is playing much better, but Carbon is also...
Oh, the Elise. It's back. I'm so happy.
It's the Magnum. Literally, Legacy have one look, but it looks great.
They found a new look? Or it's still the same one?
Blue Steel, my bad. You're still working on the... No, actually, I want to say that was the Magnum. It was semi, like, macro-oriented, so it's, like, not quite perfect because there were still a lot of mistakes. Like, Tally really should have been punished for overextending those 2 extra waves, but Swiffer just never pulled the trigger. But still, great look.
All right, with that, guys, we are going to actually go to a break. When we return, like, just go to the bathroom, get some popcorn, sit at your desk, because game number 5, Chiefs Legacy.